Godhead. From that, when you get the sanction, then through the nature is accessing to three modes. So today we will be discussing the more and more details of this three modes of nature. What are these three modes of nature? Why they are acting on our soul? Why they are acting on the soul? And why they are causing such a lot of bondage to this? Why they are doing? Why with their association? Because when we are associated with the modes of nature, because nature is again divided into three modes. And why these three modes are again the causes for all our bondage? How we have to cut off all these three modes of nature to get elevated or to get liberation or to get Kaivalya Mukti or different types of Mukti and to get the association of thought. So this is the actual purpose of the modes of nature. There are nearly 7 questions. What are they? Hare Krishna, Mani Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Different questions. What are the different questions I have said now?
Three modes of nature
Okay.
modes of
Three
nature.
modes of nature. How they are going to act on us. What are the characteristics? See, why they are acting? Because our swabhava is different. What is the swabhava? The nature of the soul. Nature of the soul,
Yes,
it differs from each and every living entities. Yes? We are having
yes, Mataji.
nearly 8,400 and 8.4 millions of species. Just like the templates of Word document, Brahma is having 8.4 templates of our different species of bodies. So in the same way, we may get different bodies. If we are in the mode of goodness, we get the bodies of demigods. If we are in the mode of ignorance, we get the bodies of ants and other the means two-legged creatures. If we are in the passion mode, we'll be getting the nature of this human body. And Naranam Abhiduryam means after this 8.4 species of life to get a human body, it is very difficult. As we all, everybody got this body. So what is our realization? We have to get our self-realization. We have to cut down all these modes of nature so that we may become liberated. That is the actual consciousness. That's what we have to take care. Means every time we have to be conscious of Krishna. And whichever the way we work, every time Krishna must be center. And whatever we are doing, we must be doing according to our best of our abilities. So, how to cut off these modes of nature? Because we are only desiring. Why we are desiring? Because when we see, because we are only Anu, and when we see Vibhu, taking pleasure of different rasas, we also feel. We also feel in that time of association when we feel that no, I can also be Krishna. I can also get lot of attention, lots and lots of attention to us so that everybody will be pleasing to me and I'll be enjoying that type of. So at that time, the soul is having the feeling of desire that it needs to be enjoyed. So the nature of the soul is to enjoy. So for that enjoyment, this body is given. But when this body is given, but actually this body is given for self consciousness and self realization. But what the soul will think after getting this body, only this body is given by the Lord to enjoy or lord it over the material nature. So I will get lots and lots of sense gratification. But actually, this body is given to us for self realization and to realize from where we came, where we are going, and where we have to reach. And we also know that this body and this material world is temporary. But how they are going to act on us? Act on us is we know that soul is comprising of soul, individual jiva, and the super soul. How these everything are acting, how our combination is going to be done. Because when jiva is going to come, it has to have a body. And that body constitutes of 24 elements. Pradhana, Pradhana, what are the different senses, what are the working senses, and what different Prakriti, the physical five elements, all this 24 elements, mind, ego, intelligence, all this make a body. When this body is having the entrance of the soul with Paramatma, soul and super soul, it becomes the 25th. So everything is arranged by the Lord itself. How it is arranged? When Garbhodaksai, I don't know, three Vishnus, three Rupani Vishnu. What are they? Anyone can answer? Three Rupani Vishnu, three Rupas of Vishnu.
Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu, Kshirodaka Vishnu.
Hari Bol Prabhu. So all these three Vishnus. From these three Vishnus, from Garbhodaksai Vishnu, we'll get the navel. From from the navel of Garbhodaksai Vishnu, a lotus will sprung out, the 1,000-leaved lotus. From that, Brahma is going to appear on it. At that time, Brahma was also in ignorance, so he was not going to get anything. After seeing Abram, and Brahma also, what he did, he went down into the lotus, but he didn't find anything. When he heard the two words, tapa, then he meditated for 100 years. Then the Lord himself has given the knowledge to Brahma in the form of Vedas and in the form of Chaturchoki Bhagavatam. And that at that time, this Brahma got the strength and he created the secondary universe. And we or everybody came out of this. We know this. This is the second part. Then what is the first part? How we came? Because from Brahma, it is arranged by Garbhodaksai Vishnu. Garbhodaksai came from Karnodaksai Vishnu. Karnodaksai, how we got sprung up differently from the airports, from the Karnodaksai, from the airports, many different eggs like eggs appeared. From that, again this Karnodaksai entered this millions of eggs, that is universes, small universes. At that time, again this Garbhodaksai entered, and this secondary universe is created. But when these eggs are there, only for the breadth of time, for a breath. See how much the capacity of a lung or how much the capacity of that Karnodaksai Vishnu. When he takes the breathing in, all this X will go inside. When he releases, everything will be coming out from his pores. Again, everything, all the creations, everything is coming. And this Mahavishnu, he came from the expansions of Sankarshana. And this Sankarshana, again, there are four expansions of Narayana. From Narayana, four expansions, that is Balrama. Balrama to the supermost is Krishna. So, I told in the reverse order, Krishna, Balram, the four expansions. Then it comes Narayana. Narayana, again, four expansions. Then it comes Sankarshana. Sankarshana, again, expansion, that is Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, all this universe secondary. Mahavishnu, from Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and Garbhodaksai Vishnu again enters into each universe of universe as Akshirodaksai Vishnu. That is the Paramatma picture. So every living entity, we are getting. But before this, how we are going to get from when this Vishnu is there, no Karnodaksai Vishnu, when he goes, he is going to get this. So when Narayana is there, when Narayana shows the glance towards Lakshmi Devi, maybe when he was glancing towards Lakshmi Devi and the indirect glancing to Lord Durga Devi, all the jivas will be entering into the womb of Lord Parvati Devi. By the glance is called Lord Shiva. So she's impregnating that, and all the jivas will be coming out from Garbhodaksai Vishnu and all the universe, and the jivas are going to take place. I hope this everybody is clear with this. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, this I have explained in 7th chapter very clearly, but only a review so that we can go. So this is how the jiva is entering through because of his desire. And now we have to see that how these modes are going to entangle us. These modes, there are three different modes. What are the three different modes of nature? Hare Krishna,
Goodness,
any of
passion,
you?
ignorance. Goodness, passion, ignorance.
Goodness, passion, and ignorance. When we are in goodness, then we take a body of demigods. When we are in a passion, we may take a body of a lion or some other creature. When we are in total ignorance, we'll be taking the bodies of or the templates of different forms and small creatures like that. So it depends upon his svabhava. But the template is also there. Why? How this is? Because it is given by Prakriti Stito. Prakriti, I'll just give you. I forgot the sloka, just a moment. I'll see the sloka next. Purusha Prakriti Stitehi Bunje Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Gunasangasya Syat Asat Yoni Janmasu. Means Krishna is only the Purusha in the entire world or entire universe or everything entirely. He is only the Purusha. And he is a predominant enjoyer. But we are also the parts and parcels of Krishna. We know that because we have jivas, we are also the parts and parcels of. But because of our illusion and because the jiva is in contact with the nature, jiva is every time in illusion that he is the Purusha. He is a Purusha, but he is only tiny Purusha. Because there is difference between Anu and Vibhu. Anu is very small, and whereas the Vibhu is having larger and greater qualities. Just like the spark of the fire is called Jiva, and the total fire is the Lord Supreme, Krishna, Supreme Personality of God. So when this Jiva is placed in this material world, how? Who is placing him? Because of Purusha and Prakriti, because of the combination of Purusha and Prakriti. Means you can also take that the combination of mother and father gives a seedling to the son or daughter. The same way here the Purusha and Prakriti combination Asian is giving us Kunje Prakriti Janguna. Means we are going to incarnate. Means the Jiva is going to aim to attend it. But why this jiva, when this jiva is going to come into this contact with me, with prakriti or the modes of nature, by the association of these modes of nature, how this jiva is entrapped? Jiva is entrapped due to karanam guna sangasya. Karanam guna sangasya. What are the guna? The swabhava of the soul. And how it is. And due to his karma, he is trapped in this repeated cycle of birth and death. How he is? Because asat sat asat jyoti janmasu. Due to his karma and guna, due to the association of guna, he is going to be placed according to different yoni, okay? different places. See, if a farmer is going to sow the crop, they are differently. So the farmer is going to enjoy the crop. So before that seedling, he has to take a lot of effort to put the seedling in other things, no? So, but here, if you take this farmer as the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord is going to seed each and everything. So, the fruits must be also enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. But we, as the Jivas, what we are doing, we are enjoying ourselves. We don't want to go near our Father. We want to enjoy ourselves. So, in that way, everything for each and every seed or anything also, this Jiva or this living entity is experiencing different changes, 6 different transformations. What are the 6 different transformations of a Jiva? Any one of you?
Uh, Childhood to younger to old age to in coma or
The
Avanam.
reproduction. Yeah. Hari Bol Prabhu. So these changes are going to be happening in that. So this chapter gives us what we have to learn from this modes of nature, how it is going to act, what are the characteristics. Means these are the different questions. What we are going to get this answers. How the characteristics of a person, if a person is associated with the mode of Rajoguna, what he is having, what are the characteristics he is going to have, what are the qualities based on him and how he will be acting in different circumstances. If he is in Sattva Guna, how he will be? He will be a humble and Brahmana. If he is in Rajoguna, he will be every time in the mode of passion. He will be every time in the race, in the cat and dog, as Srila Prabhupada says. As each and everybody are in the races. Because this is a modern era, so everybody has to struggle for existence. See, normally a jiva will be there. He needs to get up early in the morning and he is to take to work. He has to do all his household work. Then he has to start his car and he has to go for the for the office or somewhere which is very far away. So he's going to take the time. So at that time of traveling also he'll be very busy, easy, so that he has to go in time. And after working there for 8 to 9 hours, again he returns back. Again, this mechanical form is going. But doing this much of hard work, is it required for this soul? It is required for your body to maintain the body. Whatever your income is there, it is given for your body. Yeah, you have to earn, you have to do your prescribed duties. But don't do it like a workaholics. You have to know that where you have to cut off your time, to whom you have to allot. Whom we have to allot if you are going to do your work as your worship also, everything should be offered to Krishna. So in that way, first at the time of getting only, if you are going to pray to Krishna, today you have to take care of me. So he will take care of everything because he is the father and he is the listener. He's your father. As a child, no, as a child, when he goes to his father very quickly and he asks, no, no, today I don't want to go to school. I need to rest. I want to play. So at that time, father unknowingly may say, okay, okay. But the mother will scold, no, 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 he has to go. He has to take his work and he has to come back. So the same way here also, Prakriti is doing his thankless job of punishing all of us. Why she is punishing? Because when we are in distress, we'll be always, we need an helping hand. And that helping hand, we'll be turning towards Krishna. So, but every time she's doing very thankless job of Krishna. But what we'll say? No, no, due to this only this happened. No means we won't be going towards Krishna. So she will be also pushing us through our desires. This is the nature of this is the modes of nature. This is the mother nature. She's helping us. She's taking the blame and she's helping all of us to go near to the Father and to go near to the permanent location. What is the permanent location? Where Krishna is staying in Goloka Vrindavana, Inna, or Vaikuntha planets. These are the permanent and eternal spiritual world. To go there, this material energy is indirectly helping us. She's not helping directly, she's indirectly helping her. She's taking all the blame and she's doing a thankless job. See, everybody, if your mother is there, if your father is there, if you need anything, if you are going to ask, they are going to give you. If you are not asking, they won't give you. In the same, but here the nature, what she is doing, knowingly or unknowingly also, if you are suffering also, she will be increasing your suffering so that you will turn around to Krishna. So that is the tankless nature what we are going to. But when we are having the association of this material nature, we'll be in some type of in one of the modes. So we need to cut off that modes and we need to come out of this prakriti so that we can transcend to Lord Krishna. I told no 5 koshas, Annamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha means the dependence on food, whereas Pranamaya dependence on breathing. In one more, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, thinking, feeling, willing, and one, what is that kosha? Jnanamaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. Thinking, feeling, willing is Jnanamaya kosha. And this Vijnanamaya kosha, consciousness of our consciousness to go out of this, to go out of the modes of living is Vijnanamaya kosha. Anandamaya kosha is the spiritual world. Every time it is Sachidananda or the eternal. So now we are in the Pranamaya kosha. Every time we are in the thinking, feeling, and willingly what we have to do. But we have to reach to this Vijnanamaya kosha. How we have to reach? Now we are going to read that about how we are going to reach to this or how we are going to cut off the modes of nature. Hare Krishna, any one of you can read the slokas from 4.1 to 4.9.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Samadash, Danda Pranam. Goodness,
Pranam
passion,
Prabhuji,
and
go ahead Prabhuji.
goodness, passion, and ignorance. Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, verse 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection." Verse 2. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Verse 3. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Hare Krishna Babuji, can anyone continue?
Text 4. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Prabhuji.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kundi, are made possible by birth in his material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Text 5. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Text 6. O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others is eliminating and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Text 7. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kundi, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Text 8. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Text 9. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. Text 10.
Haribol, Prabhu. Haribol, Haribol. Enough, enough.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now we know that difference. What is this? The first Krishna, in the first verse, Krishna is speaking the liberation and the condition of the living entities. What is the condition of the living entities? What is the knowledge Krishna is speaking here? Any one of you, I gave you knowledge. Jnanam. What is the Jnanam we are going to speak?
Three modes of nature.
Humility.
Okay, that are the characteristics. I am saying knowledge.
Okay.
Attentive. I told in the last chapter what is Jnanam, Jnayam. What is the knowledge here Krishna is saying? Krishna glorifies that knowledge and he'll be speaking about what is this, how this material energy is impregnating the living. Knowledge is the difference between the soul and the body. And the second
Jiva.
knowledge is Jiva, soul and the Supreme Lord. The difference. That is the knowledge and how we are connected to the super soul. See, we are jivas and we are the parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and there is a relationship between the Supreme Lord and us. That is an eternal relationship we are having. That is the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Body is different, soul is different. The soul is comprising of soul and super soul. And we are, as jivas, we are the parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are having our relationship is eternal. This is the knowledge what Krishna was speaking. So Krishna is glorifying all these different knowledges. So one who knows all this different, they will be in liberated state. But why we are? If we know this also, why we are not unable to liberate? Because how we came to our existence by the will of the Lord. By the will of the Lord. What is the way? Why he has sanctioned that? Because it is will of our jiva. It is will of our different souls. So we came into existence. So Krishna has provided everything by his servants of material nature or the Prakriti. Yes? Is
Yes,
it clear?
Yes, Maha.
Yes, Mataji.
So liberation is not that everything is coming. Means we have to. Liberation means we have to transcend our nature. What is the transcendent of nature? We have to move, or we have to cut off the ties of modes of nature. That is, we are transcending it. When you cut off it, you are not link. You are not having link. So where is your link? You are having direct link to Krishna. So that your eternal relationship. So now we'll see how we have to cut. What are these modes? How they are going to act? What is the characteristics they are going to have? If a person is in mode of goodness, he'll be very humble. He'll be very clean. He'll be different categories of qualities. How he is going to eat, what different types of food he is going to have, how differently he is going to speak. All these different characteristics upon the modes of nature, how the person will be there, that will be seen. And also we know that this modes of nature, when it is acting on the soul, it is the causes for the bondage. So this is we if you see that it is like a physical speculations. But understanding that, because what is the knowledge we are proclaiming, that is the supreme knowledge. That is the supreme knowledge. Why it is? Because it is about Krishna. It is about the super soul, the Chaitanya, the Chaitya Guru who is living in our heart. Because different philosophies are there, so we can't say that this is a speculation, but we have to understand that the condition, when somebody is conditioning to words, is very powerful, because they are very powerful tools to assist for the path of self-realization. So we need to cut off this. By this knowledge, where this is the main knowledge. By this knowledge, the sages who have attained perfection. What is the perfection? Attaining Krishna is the highest perfection through Bhakti Yoga. That is the highest perfection. What we also need it, and what we are also having. We need that. So we need, as a soul, I need the association of Lord Krishna, so that I in my mind, every time when I say Krishna, Krishna, so I'm getting the association of Lord Krishna, because Krishna and the name of Krishna, they're not different. So in that way, when we know that this is the main knowledge, by this knowledge, we will be assisting to the path of self-realization. So the persons, because by this knowledge only, the many sages, they have attained this perfection, and they have transferred to this, from material world, they have transferred to spiritual world. There are many rishis and rishis. So one who can attain the transcendental nature of Krishna, and who knows the activities of Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, Nama Guna, Rupa Leelas of Krishna, and when he's very sincere in his devotional service, he just attains the liberation. Means he just cuts off his ties with this material world. Who is he? Shrita Prajna. So he is a liberated person. However, see, after attaining also, one will be, because we are not qualitatively equal. We may be qualitatively equal, but quantitatively we are not equal. Achintya Beda Tattva. Means quality. See, I may have a good quality in the same, I got that good quality from Krishna. That little quality, because I'm a jiva, my quality will be also very small. That is Anu only. But Krishna, that quality will be thousand times more in Krishna. Same way, by understanding everything, we know that qualitatively we may be equal to supreme soul, but this jiva is not having any freedom from birth and death. But Krishna is free from everything. And Krishna, I see, this jiva loses its identity when it is transmigrating to other other soul, or taking other template of the body. But Krishna knows the past, present, future, because he is the supreme Lord. Yeah, so many liberated souls who have translated to this Vaikunthas also, they know. What is the knowledge? That knowledge is uncontaminated. Why it is not contaminated? Because because they have exceeded by the three modes of material nature. And the knowledge of knowing oneself has same qualitative to Supreme Personality. And the lack of this knowledge, again, they become what they will be. They'll be in the only the in the Brahman form. Why? They're not. They don't want to go out of that Brahman feature. So, the form of the spiritual identity. What is your form? You're the Jiva or you're the soul. That is your spiritual identity. But when you get liberated in the spiritual world, you will get Swarupa. Swarupa means the same Rupa from where you got down, and you have taken a lot of baby steps to go to that Swarupa. Swarupa Siddhi means you are in the association of Lord Krishna and the spiritual world. For spiritual world, material world is only 1/4, whereas the spiritual world is 3/4. The one person who attains the spiritual Swarupa Siddhi, he goes to the spiritual world. And the spiritual world is full of different activities. All the Vrindavan activities are going on. Everything is devotional. There is no type of proud in different living creatures or in the difference of plants, anything. If Tulsi is going to come forward to serve the Lord, all the other trees and other flowering trees, because according to the flowering of a champa flower or a jasmine, it has a nice smell. But Tulsi, the smell of Tulsi is inferior to jasmine. But in that way also, even the trees in that Golaka Vrindavan, they give way to Tulsi so that it can offer Tulsi to the Lord. Because Tulsi is very favored by the Lord. So they all also, the other trees and the other flowering trees, no, they take the shelter of Tulsi. So that they can also go and serve the Lord or take shelter of the Lord. In that way, the spiritual world is uncontaminated, whereas this material world is contaminated. So we have to know the concepts of real knowledge. What is the real knowledge? We are Anu and Lord is Vibhu. And there in the spiritual world, to know about our relationship, about the soul, super soul, and this knowledge. This knowledge is because when it is in relationship with Lord Krishna, it is uncontaminated. But when it is in relationship with the material nature or the Prakriti, it is contaminated. So these, to know that. And what is the qualification we are having? The qualification is we are having the faith in Krishna. That is the qualification we are having. And what is the benefit of that qualification? We are not affected by anything because we are the Jiva. Something is going to happen also. I'll be getting the next birth. If we are in this, when we attain this platform, because after coming out of this, Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Jnanamaya. Jnanamaya means at the bodily conscious. When we come to the Vijnanamaya or the soul consciousness, we don't have any time. Whatever may happen, it is not affecting us because we are in that Vijnanamaya. We are not this body, we are in the soul consciousness. But as in Kali Yuga, 24 hours to be in that soul consciousness is very difficult. But we have to try our best to be in that consciousness so that every time our action is always linked with the super soul. And every time we are facing Lord Krishna. So that by hearing about Krishna, listening about Krishna, everything Krishna. In the next few verses, Krishna will be explaining us what is the relationship with the material nature and the conditional living entity himself. Because everything is Purusha Prakrito Sthiti. Means everything is arranged by Lord Krishna only. How it is combined. So how it is combined, this material nature is the mother, whereas the supplying supplying living energy, it is coming from the Purusha itself. Lord puts him in his potential gas and impregnates the material nature. So the seeds are coming out. How the total, that the total material. So this body is made up of 24 elements. So when this body is not enlightened by the soul or the super soul, this body constitutes of 24 elements. What are the 24 elements? Any of you? Any one of you? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is any one of you 24 elements constitution of the body?
Hare Krishna.
Five
Go ahead, Prabhu.
senses.
5 senses.
Panchaputas.
5 senses,
Panchbhutas, 5.
5 elements, 5 senses, 5 working senses, 5 sense objects.
Yeah. Then
And
Mind,
intelligence,
false
and false
ego,
ego.
intelligence.
mind, ego, intelligence.
And
Okay.
Jiva Paramatma.
No, that has not entered.
Yeah, okay,
I
Mataji.
only asked about the material nature, material
Okay, okay.
body. So
Okay.
only 24 elements and the pradhan. So they are in unconfined state. So this is a material nature. So this total materials, because I'll say this total 24 elements as Brahman. Or this is the source of birth. If your body is there, if the source of birth, because everything is placed. So now what we have to enter, the consciousness has to enter. The consciousness where we are going to get the jiva and the soul when enters this 24 elements, this body will be awakened. Yes, that is the soul. Source of birth. Means the source of birth is the Purusha. We are having two Purushas now. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and the little enjoyer is also called Purusha, the Jiva. So when these two in the form of a soul, when they enter the body, Lord impregnates everything and all the living entities are created. So for this, can anyone of you say the analogy? Okay. Scorpion, we have seen scorpion, no, in our houses, day-to-day life. We have seen many. So this scorpion, no, it lays its eggs on the rice. But actually, what is the cause of laying eggs? Is the rice the cause of the but is the rice the cause for the scorpion to lay the eggs? No, no. Scorpion is going to lay its eggs on its own. The same way, Lord also is actually, because according to the desires of Jiva, Lord is going to arrange everything, no? So the Lord, actually, the will of the Lord will give us this body. So here you can also say that material nature is the cause of birth for all the living entities. Because this body is there, if you are not going to enter with the soul, it is useless. So because the Mother Nature has created this body, the Lord and the Jivas are going to attend. So who is that? It refutes because the material nature is also not the cause. This the Lord is also not the cause, but the cause is the desire of a Jiva. He needs a template so that he can enjoy. This you are getting, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
See,
Yes.
because the material nature is only acting you on the circumstances, but it is not the cause. A Purusha or the supreme nature by the will of the supreme God, you are not getting your body. But because you want this body, you desire this body, according to the sanction of the Supreme Lord, you got this body. But this body is actually acting upon the material nature. So the desire of the soul, you are going to get the different bodies. So in that way, the scorpion will be laying its eggs on the rice. But is the rice is not the cause for the scorpion. Scorpion want to lay the eggs, so it choose a perfect place as rice. So it lays on the rice. But it's not that the rice is the actual cause for that. See, everything is under Krishna, but Krishna is aloof from this material nature. Because material nature is backside of Krishna or it is Maya. So if he wants only, he'll come and interact. See, as in the prison, if you take an example of a prison, what will happen? All the lawbreakers will be in that prison. So on August 15 or sometimes, what will happen? Then the president of India or the different ministers of India, they'll visit to the jails and they will be speaking with them for some time and they will be leaving off. It's not that the person who came to jail is also a lawbreaker, no? Or the people who are staying in that prison, they are not the breakers. Who are the breakers? They are going to punish them, no? So it differs. So the nature is different. So material nature is actually doing a thankless job. You have to know that. And also everything that plays is due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. You know that Kshetra means body. Kshetrajna is the spirit soul. So everything is taking place due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And this combination is made possible by whom? By the Supreme Lord Himself. Nobody can take His position. And we know that the total substance of this material cause, or in which there are three modes of nature, everything it thing is called, sometimes it is called Brahman also. Brahman means not only the effluence of the Supreme Lord, but sometimes the total substance of material. Because this body is consisting of 24 elements, as this body is only consisting. And different living bodies are also consisting of these 24 elements. It will be one and the same. But the template may be differing. Templates is differing, but the body, the material nature is one and the same. So sometimes this body total substance of material causes, this is also called Brahman. So this gray, so it consists of 24 elements which are inferior in nature, and but the living entity consists of superior nature. Why? It is in contact with the Supreme Lord. The soul and the super soul, they are not in contact with this body, but they are entrapped in this bodily consciousness. So living entity can see everything in different planetary. Why? Because it is accommodated, it is entrapped in this body. And also we can see that the living entity comes in contact with material nature and becomes say conditioned by it. Why it is becoming conditioned? Because these three modes are acting. We are when we feel no, when we see, suppose we take we have seen this watercolors, no, different colors will be there, and we'll be in our childhood days we used to draw this watercolor paintings and other things. So when we see the watercolor box, it may be having different rounds and different colors, nearly 12 to 15 colors in that water, and a brush. But when we'll see for few minutes and we'll get tired of it. But somebody it is using that watercolors and he's painting on a canvas in a scenery of a beggar with a pitiful smile, with a bowl in it. What seeing that painting, what we'll say? We'll be also in a distress mood. But when the painter has painted a natural beauty, we'll be in the mode of goodness. Or if you see a painting of Lord Radha Krishna, you will be in the mood of happiness. See, different modes are acting. The painters different views of different paintings. They're giving different modes and different implications to your mind. If you say you see the picture, a picture of a beggar and with a ball with it, you'll be having distress mode. Whereas if you see a natural beauty, you may feel little good. But when you see the picture and the natural paintings of Radha Krishna, deity of Radha Krishna, you'll feel very happy, because when you are seeing the in the face of Lord Krishna, it is very attractive. So we'll be feeling the natural happiness because it is coming from the soul. Soul also feels happy when you are doing, when you are glancing at Radha Krishna. So the happiness. So here the three modes. See, one is in distress. That is the mode of ignorance. One is he thinks that this can be. When one he sees the natural scenery, says if here there are, if there will be little birds or little fruits hanging on that leaf, it will be better. So at that time, you are in the modes of passion. But if you see the scenery of Radha and Krishna, you feel pleasant. So at that time, you will be in the mode of goodness. So in this way, actually, the living entity coming in contact with the material nature and it is becoming entangled. The same way, because desiring on independent enjoyment. Some see one scenery, they'll be feeling happy. But the same person may see the other scenery, he may be becoming despair. Because it depends upon the swabhava or the nature which the soul is placed. Because in which type of mode it is. But it is not strictly controlled. And everything is strictly controlled by these modes of nature. And here the soul is there, no? The soul will be always resting on its own independence, or the soul is having the free will. because it came to enjoy its nature and its desires has to be. So it is having the free will to take whichever the path he wants. See, sometimes what we'll do, no, we'll be working a lot, and after time, we if we won't get the required promotion or anything, we'll be in that state of distress sometimes. At that stage of distress, what we'll be doing, we'll be ignoring our work and we'll be doing little bit less. But when we know that whatever the fruits may give, this is my nature and this I have to do it consciously. So the distress will be not there. So you'll be doing everything consciously. All the promotions or something what you need to get, it will be accordingly done, no? But when you are distressed and you are not doing your actual job certainly, then you will be in that same state. In this way only, the soul also, this here I told you the example, no? In this way, the living entity will be there, no? It will be also conditioned by this material world, and it is under the spell of this modes, material modes, and different bodies, and different activities, and different modes. That is the cause of variated happiness and distress to that soul are going to be received by the soul. So, in this way, if you see that the living entities will be binding, so the living entity is binding by the modes of nature. So, in different modes, if there are three types of modes, no, that is happiness, active, or helplessness. If you see that, or the mode of goodness. Yes. If you take it, the mode of goodness, the people who are there, see, in the mode of goodness, some people, I'll give you some examples. That is, if it is a philosopher, if it is a scientist, or if it is a poet, what will be? The poet is very proud of their knowledge. No, I know everything. I know everything of my Shastra, so I'll be very proud. And what he will say, no, I know everything. If somebody is going to ask him also, if he's very inferior also, he gives the highest quote of knowledge. But the inferior member, he can't understand because he is not in that Shastra level. But the poet will be in that. Means he's showing the proud of his knowledge and and the advancement of happiness. See, I'm very showing the proud. He's very happy, so by this happiness, he is going to fall under the trap of repeated birth and death. But he is not going to know it now. And he also feels lot of happiness because he will feel that, no, I have done such a great thing. And this is the cause of sense happiness, sense gratification. See, I have done something, I'm very happy. Because one is more or less, they are not free from the sinful reaction. See, destiny, it is there and not likely to be for liberation or any things, but also there are many things. See, for goodness, they'll be very humble. They'll be cleaning, they'll be doing their work. If something is coming to them or something is not coming to them, they're not fearing. They will be every time in goodness and they'll be doing according to their religious activities. These are the Brahmanas. Or in Kali Yuga, you can also see something, they won't affect. You can see such as devotees in our association. Every time, even they are very senior, if some inferior person or the from neophytes come and ask them, they'll be very happy to serve them. So different grades of devotees are there. So the character is that they'll be very humble. That is the mode of goodness person. I said, when it comes to that of the mode of passion, the passion is such as passion means the desire, the ropes of desire. One desire is that it again finishes, the next desire immediately appear. And for this desire and desire, what they are going to do? The soul, when it is in passion, it will be always entangled, or it will be every time it will be attached. See, some men and women, no, in category wise, they'll be very much attached to their household life. And in our modern civilization also, this formally is really is that they were advancing. This is the advanced condition. Every time we can see. And mode of passion also, every time the person or the jiva, they'll be hankering for material enjoyment. They may be having one house, but they need 10 to 15 bungalows, more and more. For the grandparents, they'll be working hard like workaholics and other things. And they also want their honor, society status, nation status, everyone. And they want, they also want the happy family with children, grandchildren, and everything. So that if there is a honor in the society, all will be happy. But what is our true honor, true self-satisfaction? To be as for the soul, as we want to be included in that soul platform, as for the soul, we need to be a dasanu dasanu dasa. Dasanu dasanu dasa means Gopi Padakalma Bhadra Dasanu dasa. Means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I don't want be to the servant of Radharani, but I want to be the servant of the servants of Radharani. I want to be their servant because the Lord is pleased. When he is pleased, he is not pleased when you are doing his seva, but he is pleased when you are doing the seva for his devotees. Such as when everything is coming from his devotees, when we are in a parampara, the knowledge from Krishna is coming through gurus, and through gurus, acharyas, from acharya, yes, to our spiritual master, it is coming from a bona fide parampara. So, in this way, whoever may be, the living entity must come out of this mode of passion and it must come to the mode of goodness. How we can be, but for the soul, it is dasanu dasanu dasi. Asa. So we need to come out of this. And every time in passion, what we will be doing, we need the fruits of work also. When I'm doing certain work, I need the fruity activities also. If I'm doing work, I'm taking the salary and that I'll be using only on myself, not and only my family. It's not like that, no? Yeah, our Rupa Goswami has given that in one of the acharyas of our parampara. Rupa Goswami said that we need to donate 50% sent towards our spiritual masters and spiritual requirements to encourage other living entities to come to the spiritual welfare. And in that 50% also, 25% must be spent on our relatives' illness and family wellness, and only 25% must be kept with you so that it will be take care of your bodily needs and other needs. See, that is the actual treasury what Rupa Goswami has set in our parampara. But according to us also, as today is Kartika Purnami, you can give the charity to Iskcon, or you can also give charity or a day, or you can give Gita books to the person who is not having Gita, so that he can get the knowledge of Gita. See, if you are going to give money, they may spend it on one day. If you are going to give them knowledge, it will be for their lifelong. So, in that way, you also have to give different charities so that as this Kartik month is very, very auspicious, and today is Kartika Purnami, it is very auspicious. Just invite one of them to show Damodar Deep, or you give little bit charity so that it benefits. Because giving today charity or giving anything, giving different charities or chanting more and more rounds of Nama Prabhu, everything he will give you lots and lots of piety. So this everything, no, this charity, everything, no, this passion people will be ready for doing everything. This mode of passion. So we are in a humble state. We are in the mode of goodness. So in goodness, what we'll do, whatever we do little, it's enough for us. But in the mode of passion, what they will do, they will do all this type of different charities, and they will be giving a showcase of that. See, I have done this, I have done this. So to get the popularity, honor for him, they will be doing. So next comes our characteristics of ignorance. How these ignorant people will be there? They are not very qualified persons. Means it implies that it is opposite to goodness, because goodness, they are intelligent and they are very quiet. There will be humble nature. No, this is directly opposite to goodness. So if a person is humble there, here the person will be very rude. So different. So under the spirit, because Ignorance means avidya potency is acting. Avidya means is not having sufficient qualification. So he becomes an ignorant soul. How he'll be? He'll be every time in accumulating money, or every time he doesn't care about this external spirit or something. He doesn't have any type of knowledge about the soul and other thing. Whatever he do, he does for earning money, or he'll be very lazy, or he doesn't want to invite anyone. He doesn't want to associate with everybody. He'll be very lazy means he'll be every time in a sleepy mood. Normally our sleeping time will be 8 hours per day. But here, an ignorant person, what he will do? He will take the sleep for up to 12 to 13 hours daily. And always he'll be having the addictions of intoxication, sleeping, everything. So, this is the mode of ignorance. So, when the mode of ignorance is acting on that, on one person, these are the outcomes of characteristics. So, these three we have created. So, in the mode of goodness, see, in the mode of goodness, if you see that the what is the binding force? The binding force will be happiness, satisfaction, knowledge, superiority. Whereas when it comes to passion, how it will be? It will be always attached to the fruits, and it is binding towards attachment. Every time we need fruits, so we are more attached to that. But in ignorance, we are every time in our madness, laziness. Yes, we don't want to, the people who are in ignorant, no, they don't want to start early, they don't want to do their work in time, they'll be always in the laziness. This is one of the binding force which is coming in this ignorance, that is madness. They won't be, madness means they won't have that enough qualification to understand that knowledge, so they are in madness. So due to this madness, what will happen? It will be this all, because this is the binding forces. These binding forces, they will give results, no? Again, if somebody is eating at that time, how it will be, how they'll be missing. So these are the binding forces. Is it clear, Prabhuji, up till here? Today I'll stop this section. Is it clear, everybody?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Because this modes of nature, no, what are the binding forces we have to know compulsory. And it is very important, so that we have to cut down the ties of all these modes of nature. Is it clear? Any doubts or any clarification?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much, Mataji. It's nice class. You explained very nicely about ignorance and passion and goodness. On what category, which one is we have to go spiritually if we follow this one. And you have, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol Prabhu. Anyone of you, any doubts or anything?
Clear, Mataji. Hare Krishna,
It's
Mataji.
clear. Okay, Hare Bol. Murli Prabhu, any doubts?
Yes, Mataji. Today we started with synopsis of 13th chapter, and there are 7 questions, 3 modes of nature, how they will act on us, and the characteristics of modes of nature, and how to cut the modes of the nature.
How to cut
And
them or
also
how to translate?
how to translate. And also you told today class Brahma 100 years tapa. This one you told Mataji. For the soul is given for self-realization, and also you told about the 5 kosas, Mataji. Already you explained previous classes also. Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha,
Pranamaya,
Dhanamaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. So now we have to come up to the Anandamaya kosha.
No, if we come to Vijnanamaya Kosha, that is sufficient, Prabhu.
Vijnanamaya kosha, yes, Mataji.
Anandamaya Kosha, it will automatically follow,
yeah,
if we
and
know
also,
the knowledge of everything.
What is our qualification? Faith on Krishna, and what will be the benefit? Will at least we will have the human birth, next life human birth. Mataji, here you told some analogy for 13th chapter. Scorpion lays eggs on the rice.
No, it's not for the 13th chapter, Prabhu. It is for the 14th chapter when Prakriti is not acting, no. Because when the soul is desiring only, Krishna is sanctioning and material energy is acting. See, the scorpion lays eggs on its own, but it lays on the rice. So rice is not the support for that, no. It is the will of the scorpion to lay the eggs.
Mataji, how
So
rice
the
will
god,
get to scorpions?
huh?
Rice, how it will be?
Prabhu, if you take a bag of rice and if you keep it, the scorpions or the other small creatures, when it is not tied, when it is not airtight, right, what will happen? Some of the worms will be coming out of the rice bag, no? You have
Okay.
seen many times, no? So in that way, in all of us have seen that, no? Sometimes the black seeds will be appearing in rice bag. You're not giving any eggs in that, no? But they are coming out of their own. But how they are coming out? By the will of the Lord. It's not from the rice or it's not from the material energy. By the will of the Lord, they are coming out. So in that way, here the laying of scorpion. Scorpion is laying the eggs on rice, but rice is not the source of that. No. Who is laying the eggs? The scorpion. The same way, I have said that rice is not the source for that. So in this way, you have to feel that material nature is not the cause. What is the cause you are having? The soul is desiring, no? That is the cause.
Thank you. And also told goodness, mode of goodness is humble state, and passion is attachment. Ignorance is the madness and laziness. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
true.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So today no doubts, no? So we'll end the section by saying Vaishnava Pranam and Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Go ahead, Prabhuji.